the spaceship from Star Wars. You know what I'm talking about. The Starliner. I don't know. Not Star. That's fucking Star Trek. Anyways, flatline code. This is gonna be the hard code that is the computer is gonna be consistent with. So you know how I said a squared plus b squared equals c squared. This is something that computer knows already and is familiar with and will always be true. So if that's the case, a thing of flatline code looks like this. It goes as follows: print, open parentheses, quotations, hello world. I really need a better marker. Print hello world, right? This is a flatline code. This code is, oh my gosh, I need the marker. This code is I'm gonna go straight across, right, straight across, do straight across from top to bottom, left to right. From top to bottom, left to right, we're gonna have it read this one line code, right? This is a flat line code. And it's a flat line code, because it's going straight across. This is basic mathematical arithmetic. A squared plus b squared equals c squared. Python will read left to right, bottom, top to bottom, like I said. And let's get into the portion of actual calculations. So, just like in math, we have variables, we have, I don't know, I haven't done, we have variables, we have quotations, we have calculus, we have a whole bunch of other things that we can use. But today we're gonna use the x. X and y are my favorites, so we're gonna use x and y. So we're gonna have x be our variable, and we're gonna assign it 5. Everyone knows that x equals a certain number. It doesn't really matter, but today's gonna be 5, right? And we're gonna use y as 4, right? And z equals x plus y. Okay, I'm gonna stop right here and get deeper into it, right? So because we have x, y, and z, we have a good, this is a pretty good, compilation. This is very basic, but this is gonna be our bread and butter right here. We're gonna build on top of this, right? Because we have x as the variable and we're assigning it 5. This does not mean it's equal to 5. It just means we're assigning x, all x's on the keyboard is gonna equal 5. If you hit an x on the keyboard, it's gonna equle 5. Hit a y on the keyboard, it's gonna equal 4. And when you request z, I'm sorry, I didn't finish the line of code. Print z, right? Because I have 5, all x is equal 5 and all y is equal 4, or all y's are assigned 4, and we're printing out z, and while z is the command of x plus y, we're gonna print out z. In the terminal, we should get 5 plus 4. In the terminal, our output is gonna be 4, right? And it's gonna be 4 because 5 plus 4 is 9. No, oh my gosh. 5 plus 4 is 9. What the fuck am I doing? What am I doing? I'm trying to teach y'all, I can't even do basic math. So yes, 4 plus 5 is 9. And we have that because we have it line in the flat line code. We have z equals x plus y. Because we have it in a flat line code, this is something that won't change. It's something that can't change because we have put parameters on our argument. So this is a whole argument. This is an argument that the computer's going to read from top to bottom. I'm gonna keep stressing it from top to bottom, from left to right. Just know it's gonna go in order. So it's assigning x 5, y 4, z is assigned to both of these combined together, and I'm requesting from the terminal the output of z. And if that is the true case, then this is a basic calculator. But you're not gonna stop right there. We can't stop right there. 4, 5. Let's get a little deeper into the whole arguments and assigning of variables. So in the first portion of my class, we learned about hello name and how to request input from the end user. And we do that by this command right here. It's called input, parentheses, blah, 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 parentheses, or quotations, my pardon, quotations and close parentheses. This right here is going to give something, this is going to request something from the terminal. This is a line of code that is only used when, or not only used, my apologies. It's used when you're requesting certain feedback from the user. So it can be any sort of variables, any sort of numbers. There's something that the end user has to put in. I'm requesting input, right? So because of that, we're going to build on top of that because that is something that we are going to input. For the first line of code, we're going to have input what is X. Input what is Y. Print. Oh, wait. Where's the second? 2, 3. Oh wait, my bad. I forgot to assign my variables. I keep forgetting to assign my variables to the actual input. Z equals X plus Y. For print Z. Okay. So now that we have this in our, I think, corridor, I don't know. Anyways, it's where you have the line of code. These are the lines of code you're gonna have in your computer in the terminal, right? Not in the terminal, in the computer coding portion. And when you have this code right here, or this request right here, you're gonna have that be something that I type in on the terminal side. So in the terminal, we're gonna have the user request something. So like I said before, previously, we're going to have it request something from us inside the terminal. So instead of it just popping out a random number or popping out what we request because we actually have assigned a variable and an argument, we're gonna have it request something of us. And the first thing it's gonna request, because I said top to bottom, left to right, yeah? It's gonna ask what is X? So in the terminal, what is X will be requested of us. X is, oh no, 5. Because I like 5 Guys. Actually, it's really expensive. And then after I put in this and hit enter, after that, it'll go back to the second line. The second line of code is Y. What is Y? So because what is Y is requested of me, I need to give some sort of input back into it. And I'll do that by assigning Y, because now I'm assigning it. This is more of like a longer version or a couple more steps to a variable of value. There it is. I'm assigning a value to a variable. There it is. This is a value and that's a variable. And I'm assigning this value to that variable, right? And for Y, today I'm feeling like $5 foot long. $5 foot long for Subway. All right. And so if this is the case, if this is the same case as we had previously where I had X be assigned the value of 5 and I had Y, the variable, be assigned the value of 5 or 4, it should theoretically do the same thing as it did last time, right? Peep game, lock in, right? So it's not. The answer will be a crisp 55, right? And I'm gonna tell you exactly why. It shouldn't be 55, because if you have $5, you have more $5, you should have $10, not 55, right? And so because we're reading left to right, top to bottom, and we have added an argument into there, this right here mixes it all up. This mixes it all up. This gives you full keyboard control. Right now you have 26 letters in the alphabet, plus you have the extras like the quotation marks, exclamation points, and you have numbers. Pardon me. And so because we have that randomness, this gives you the randomness aspect, it's gonna go, the computer doesn't know what to do. The computer it just knows basic things to do. And so because of that, we're gonna go from line to line to line, and we're gonna just put it together. And so because of that, we have this line, which is 5, and this line, which is 5, and I'm requesting z equals x plus y. Right now, the computer doesn't know what x and y is, so it's gonna just put it together. And that's exactly what I'm requesting. I'm asking the computer to put x and y together and equal the variable z. And all I'm asking is for it to print z. I'm not asking for anything else. And because of that, it's just gonna give me 55, right? It's gonna give me 55, and that is not what I need. I need something more advanced. I need something that's more fluid, more substantial, right? It's not what I want. I want a calculator. I don't want it to print line by line. So for me to fix this code, for you to fix this code or be able to fix this code, we need to do a few more steps, right? A few more steps, right? Oh, shit. And the steps that we are going to take are adding a stipulation. So we have parameters. We have set parameters. We have an argument, which is this, and we have the values, the variables, my bad. We have variables. But we haven't really put any like limits on how much or how far we can go with the pushing of the computer, right? And so the way we get the numbers out is by a syntax called int. Int is a shortcut for integer. So int in short term is equal to integer. And because int is an integer, and this is just the same thing as int is the same thing as sep, same thing as round. These are called functions. These are functions. These are built into the computer. These are built into the coding language, pardon me. And because of that, we can have shortcuts instead of typing out integers, instead of specifying numbers, because, you know, typing is money. And the less letters you have to use, and is more the faster you can get the job done. So because of that, int is equal to integer, and we're going to use that into the code we just used, right? So there are multiple ways to skin a cat. There's multiple ways to get the same answer in math. That's something you have to like get comfortable with, you know, get around, right? You have to be able to figure out by any means necessary how to get to the answer. And so I'll show you 2 different ways on how we can get to the same answer. So boom, right? First method, right? We're going to say, hey, I want the information first, and then I'll do something later. And what I mean by that is we'll get the information. What is x? Today, x is a four. Yeah, we get a little four. And y, oh, we'll just stay over here. And y is gonna be little two piece side of fries. And if I stop right here, I get the same issue I had before. However, I'm gonna continue on editing my line of code. And so because I said it's going from top to bottom, left to right, now that it has this information, now that I've assigned 4 as the value of x and 2 as the value of y, my next line is where it's gonna actually switch up and change and do a little something, you know? So we have the line code 3, we're gonna have the same z equals, but instead of having just x and y be added together, we're gonna put that int in front of it. So it'll look like int x plus int y, right? And so because I've now added stipulations to my argument, the computer now knows, hey, this is a number. we are going to use numbers. We're going to add numbers together, not just letters, symbols, and other rigmarole. We're going to add numbers. And so because of that, in our terminal, our answer, if I'm not bad at math, is 6. It is 6 because we're adding numbers now. We're not adding just lines and lines. We're adding actual functioning numbers. So, like I said before, this is another way. And before I leave, this is just one of the other ways. I'm gonna show you another way, but this is just one of the ways. You can get your data first and then execute or make changes to that data you've already input, because I've assigned X to 4 and Y to 2. I've already given those stipulations, and now I'm editing the information that the computer is storing. It's storing this data, and then I'm editing the data that it's already stored, right? The last way to do things, right? The other way to do things. So this is editing the data after I've inputted, right? So I want to edit all in one line. I mean, it could be difficult. It's going to be difficult at first, but with enough practice and personal preference, you can get a lot. You can choose whichever. Boom. So we all have been to math. We've all used math we've learned. We've all know the Pythagorean theorem. We all know Newton's 3 laws because we went to college or high school, right? Boom. Instead of, like, you know how I said a squared plus b squared, we're going to get more mathematically inclined because we're building a calculator. This is what I mean, right? PEMDAS. Everyone's heard of PEMDAS. PEMDAS. Right? PEMDAS. We're going to use PEMDAS in our line of code. And what I mean by adding PEMDAS to the line of code, we have X equals input. What is X? Instead, before the computer executes this command, I'm gonna have another command in front of it. And it'll look something like this, right? So we have input, what is X? And instead of going just straight into it, I'm gonna give it another stipulation. I'm gonna use green. I'm gonna give it another stipulation and add my parameter and have int in front of it, right? Int in front of it. But if this is, like I said, in math, we always have to have close equal number of parentheses, right? We always have to have equal number of parentheses. So I have to put a parentheses on this side, another close parentheses on that side. So a double parentheses. And like I said, PEMDAS, parentheses, we're gonna work from the inside out, right? Inside out, right? So first I'll get my variable or my value. Let me put this in. I'm gonna finish this second one, int. And X is equal to int, Y is equal to int. All right, so because I've assigned my new value, which is X, I'm getting information first. I'll get this information first, which is what is X, and then I'll make it a number. I'll get this information next, first, what is Y. I'll get that information and make it a number. Because I have int at the front of my line, in the front line of my line of code, there we go, I can now acquire the information, change the information before I get to my next line. Because like I said, I will always harp on this, it goes from left to right, top to bottom. And I'm printing Z. And this will also give me the same information over here. Basic calculator. Yeah, here we go. Basic calculator, y'all. The only thing you need to do to change is the plus down here, because it's the last thing the computer's gonna do. So you can either add, subtract, divide. You would change this to whatever you need, and it'll pop out in this terminal. It'll pop out the information correctly. And with that, you all, thank you all for watching. Thank you all for looking at this video. Thank you for taking your time out to watch. I hope you learned something. I hope I was able to teach you something important. I know I'm learning. As I learn, I will teach you. If you see any sort of issues with my method of teaching, if I'm teaching anything wrong, let me know in the comments, because like I said, I'm learning just like you were learning. Okay, let's go. All right, thank you so very much. Hope you have a great rest of your day.